If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
You're locked on to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back to Scotty G and the coach here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. And Buller, your wish is our command.
Yes. Little Eddie.
That harmony, Van Halen harmony, too.
Yeah.
Michael Anthony on the top.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
Alex is still, I guess, the band can't be Van Halen without, Eddie.
Yeah, they ain't even trying. Just don't go see David. I hear it is atrocious.
Ooh.
Well,
bad.
And
I heard he got some backup singers.
He's bad, dude. It's bad.
You've seen him then? Is that where you're
I've seen enough of what is being done.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Jay Catch, Tim LaComb, Craig Bowlerjack hanging out for another segment with us here. And Bowler, we've been talking about the Jazz and what kind of feels like the launch of kind of a new era for the Jazz.
Right.
And I was in elementary school in the 97-98 era, and then I got into junior high when the kind of the teardown with Jerry happened. They kind of rebuilt it back up with
Man, you're rubbing it in right now, aren't you?
I was in elementary school.
That's all
man.
That's all I can tell you.
You're looking at two old dudes over here.
I know, but trust me, this is stuff DJ gets mad at me.
All right, sorry.
About.
Go ahead.
But I watched the D. Will and C. Booze era play out through my junior high school years, and then it's been torn back down. But it feels like you talked about when Jaren Jackson Jr., that trade went down. It was like, hey, sweet. 4 years of all this, and it completely changed the whole tone and the feel around this team. What are you looking forward to most? Are you looking just forward to I think you mentioned it earlier, fans getting their money's worth in terms of when they come to these games? Because Jazz fans showed up through the entirety of this thing.
They never waved the white flag.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. I think that's a great credit to what Jazz Nation is. And they've been that way since I got here.
Yeah.
I mean, I was here as a 12-year-old in 85.
Good luck.
But, that's the one thing I always noticed that, Salt Lake's grown so much.
Yeah.
But it was the only game in town besides up on the hill and down in Provo, man. Blue versus red. And I just love the fact that the fan base has continued to grow, like your son at 7. Wow, he's into the NBA and the Jazz. That's what it takes. It's generational. You pass it, father, son, mother, daughter, whatever, it is, or you go as a family.
Yeah.
And, I think that's the most impressive part. The Jazz have weathered the storms. There's been more than one. And now you hope that the sky's clear. And I know it's a silly analogy, but they reap the benefit of all this time down on putting, one piece here, one piece there, or evaluating would be the word.
Yeah.
And development. I mean, those are the words that have been used time and time again over the last 3 years. We have to give them time. Let's develop. Let's go through the process. And now you have to make tough decisions, as Will has said. So, this is a tough business. Some of these players will be with us. Some of these players will not. And that's the truth of it. And, if they can use one piece to move another, and that's the business of basketball. It's tough because you get close to an individual and you want to see them succeed, but, GMs kind of stay quiet for a reason. I mean, I think the Angels have done a great job connecting, but at the same time they have a job to do that Ryan hired them to do. It's almost an impossible job at times, but the ultimate goal is. Danny's been through it as a player, title, GM, title. He's been there on both sides of the ball, and I think that's why Ryan obviously trusts him and his son Austin to make these tough decisions on players that actually will benefit the Jazz, be on the roster, and give this team depth. I think depth, Tim, I mean, you can speak to this. I mean, to really be high level like OKC is if you have a player knocked down or foul trouble, then you plug in your bench guy and you don't miss a step. That's where the Jazz want to be. Can you build the depth? Can you stay financially fiscal and still get it all done? Well, that's a big challenge.
But a lot of things have to happen, and one of the things, that in this new collective bargaining agreement, you're really hoping that young guys can come in on that rookie contract and punch above their weight.
Right.
Like Jalen Williams did for Oklahoma City, right?
Well, and now A.J. Mitchell is that for them.
Right.
He's on a $3 million
even more
deal.
so because he was a second-round
Well, I'm
pick.
just saying, because
right.
he's on a $3 million deal, and he is contributing 20 points in the playoffs.
Right.
Like, you need to find those. You mentioned Lou Dort.
Yeah.
Undrafted free agent. Like, you have to find those guys.
You do.
But I think that the key to what Oklahoma City has is more what you were talking about earlier, and it's where the Jazz can go. They are, regardless of who they pick this year, they can compete size-wise with Oklahoma City and San Antonio as good as anybody can.
Yes.
They're going to have the size to do that. But the pieces that Oklahoma City has and why they're constructed so well, if they want to go big, they can go big. If they want to go small, they can go small. If you want to go rugged and just beat your head in, they can do that too. They put in the other Jalen Williams, a couple of dudes that'll just knock you around.
The Arkansas Jalen Williams.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my point is that I like that rosters are becoming a little more get 2 stars or 3 stars and fill it in with anybody else. It ain't going to work anymore.
Yeah.
You've got to have a fairly complete team that is going to have enough shooters to make you have enough spacing on the offensive side, and you can't play guys that can only shoot and can't defend because defense is a big piece in this league too. One thing the Jazz have going for them defensively, and they're going to get better immediately because of the length. Now, the emphasis, Will's already talked about it, emphasis is going to be defense. So they're going to grow and learn, but you go back and look at what he was trying to piece a defense with together. Defense is about knowing where the other guy is and communicating that. When you're playing different dudes every night, different guys are starting, you don't know who's in and out of the lineup, over a 4-year period of time, it's a miracle they got any stops. So to me, there is real promise that this team can be really good defensively too.
To your point, even though the losses came last year, I still was impressed with the effort.
Me too. It was markedly different.
And it was, and it almost like a light. To your point, Jake, is that the Jaren Jackson Jr. trade said, all of a sudden, the league took notice, by the way. Our fan base, Jazz fan base, took notice, and they said, okay, lights on. We're not in the dark.
Lights on. Yep.
Light just went on, knowing that we're in a serious moment. And that's what I felt, personally.
I heard these words, and I don't know where I got them, but buckle up.
Well, it's true.
I tell you, I hope there's some more buckle up nights, big time coming up, because those are fun games and fans engaged and the energy that comes out of it. That's why it's such an addicting sport. The speed, the strength. Sometimes you get a bad whistle more than once, but it is what it is, and you play through it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest key now. You just have to say, okay, move on, and let the emotions go where you want. Stay focused on the big prize. And go out and bust tail. I mean, the Jazz are relatively young, despite Marketing and Triple J being, 9 years, 7 years.
He's 26.
Yeah.
These guys are ready to go.
And, think about it. 4-year players who come out at 22, 23, and then you have to give them a year or two to – I mean, they're at where they are, but they've already had 7 years of NBA experience. It's fascinating. The youth coming out, there's a few high schoolers – they come out, LeBron being one. C.J. Miles, who we talked to, joined us for a couple of games this year. Talked about his struggles coming out right out of Skyline High School down in Texas.
Larry Johnson's high school.
Yeah. And it's not easy. And I think the expectations are always high. Well, you're in the league. You ought to be able to play. Well, it takes time to understand your role and understand, I think, a coach's language, Tim, as you know, and also just have the sixth sense that makes a great team greater.
One thing I want to add, because I do believe that the Jaren Jackson move happened because Keontae did what he did this year. I think the Jazz were looking to, okay, now's the time because we have got another dude. And Keontae had a phenomenal year. You spoke to not just the basketball stuff, but he shed some of the other things. But I'm really intrigued to watch his continued growth and leadership piece on this team.
Yeah.
We saw it on TV time after time, guys getting interviewed, and Keontae would come over and be there like the Oklahoma City guys started to do. But how different was that from the year before?
You wanted to say what's happened because it's fun.
Yeah.
And
it's awesome.
And the players and the fans, I think, notice and appreciate it. You're right about OKC. I mean, that team is tight. Why? They win together. They put their egos aside. And I love the fact when whomever may get interviewed, it's all together. It's 6-7 guys piling around Caruso, or they pile around SGA, or they may pile around Jalen. But they're in it. And I think Keontae's trying to just maybe that's who he is, that we're just seeing the true Keontae coming out, man. He wants to be a part of something big.
Well, and then he goes to New York, and the first time the Jazz ever move up. So I think there's something to this guy.
And he also invited his teammates to Dallas to work out last year,
which set the whole
that's
season
the sign
in
of
motion.
leadership.
Yeah.
And I think that can't get lost in the discussion about his growth and where the Jazz are now.
Well, and that's the other thing about it is he was a guy that last year was a prove-it year. If he hadn't been what he was, he's probably being moved. Let's be clear. Like, he was probably going to be trade bait at that point. He's going to be like, all right, what can we get for this guy? And now he's kind of an integral piece. And now you think about it, the lineup could be him. It could be Ace Bailey alongside him. And Ace is in shoes, 6'9". Let's say you add an AJ DeBonsa, who's 6'10" in shoes. And then your front line, JJJ's 6'10" with a 7'4" wingspan. Lowry's 7 foot. And Walker Kessler, 7'1", who's a defensive force. And that lineup, Buller, that's huge.
Well, then talk depth that comes with it.
Flip coming off the bench.
Yes, and
who's
that's
Sensabaugh, and also Isaiah Collier.
Correct. Yeah.
That can give you that different speed and tempo.
Don't count out Conchar.
Yeah.
My guy Conchar is going to find the floor.
Suddenly you're 10 to 12 guys deep, and that's kind of what the new era of the NBA is requiring, is you have to have essentially 10, maybe 12 guys that you can count on. Because I think in this era, the era of guys playing 82 games in a season is past. I think the 65-game rule is in effect, but more and more guys are playing closer to that 60 mark, Buller.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? You got to have other guys who can step into those roles on any given night and not have the drop-off.
Right. You know, there was I read or listened to a podcast that kind of mentioned Tom Thibodeau about wearing out his starters.
Oh, no tread Thibodeau?
Yes. Yeah.
And, you know, how well they could play during the regular season. But Sloan was always one, too, to say, look, you have to still have gas in the tank to play postseason. And that's really going to come into play here in the next 4 weeks.
Correct.
Whoever gets into the finals and actually who actually wins the NBA title. So, there was a time a badge of honor was 82, and it depends too, Jake and Tim. Stockton Malone made you feel guilty if you weren't on the floor.
It's true.
And so they were the leaders, and people followed like, you know what, I got a bad hamstring or I'm a little sore tonight, but I'm going to play. And I'm not sure that there's a lot of that same attitude today.
Yeah.
It's like, I better take care of myself.
Yeah.
Or an agent may impact that. Or, also medical staff have to be careful as well. Got to take care of our guys. It's a huge investment.
Oh, yes.
And so better be safe than sorry. And that's what, kind of the league is. But if you can play 70, tip your hat.
Oh, yeah.
65, you're getting there.
Yeah.
But you hope you can see a guy go 70, 72. Maybe you miss 10. You're going to have an ankle sprain on occasion. But you're right, Jake. It's about who steps in behind him and how much do you lose or do you just stay even?
Correct.
And they can still do enough to get you a win, especially on the road.
Well, that's what the OKC model is.
Yeah.
Like, they don't drop off.
No, their motto is don't play with your food.
Yeah.
They just annihilate, and they have most of the time. And so it's setting up nice for the Spurs. That they'll give them a test, and we'll see if they can get over the hump. This was I just want to read this to you.
Okay.
Back in history, this is the roster that's fairly salary capped and forces the move. Okay, I'm just going to read the roster to you, and I want you to think about the roster today.
Okay.
Rudy Gobert making $35 million, Donovan making $28 million. Then you got Conley, Bojan, Clarkson, Royce O'Neal, Juancho Hernan-Gomez, Rudy Gay, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Hassan Whiteside, Azubuike, Pascal, Daniel House, Jared Butler, and Trent Forrest. There's your squad. And now, you read down that it's been a miracle. I mean, this has been an incredible job by this front office, acquiring more options and then hitting on them, getting the right dudes.
Yeah.
Because that is stark. I mean, that is the roster then.
From 6 down, the depth that we just spoke of really was not there.
Right, but also the versatility. You've got Conley's a 6-foot guard.
Yeah.
Bojan, who couldn't guard you or me. And I love Bojan, but he wasn't going to guard us. And Clarkson, he paid his dues here. He was great here. But I don't know, his clock and everything else, it was just going to expire. So,
And he was all O and little D.
So I mean, it's incredible.
What an entertainer, though.
I know.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, no,
I love him.
What an
Come on,
entertainer.
flame on from you.
Flame on.
Hey, man, I'm all for the Knicks right now for him, too. I would love that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
JC, get a little hardware?
Yeah, that'd be really
Look
cool.
at Nickeil Alexander-Walker, most improved player.
Yeah.
Went up to Minnesota and then, moved on. But the kid,
Back with Quinn.
Yeah.
And
Quinn saw something.
they unlocked him.
Yeah.
I liked him when he was here. I was that was one I felt bad about when we let him go. I felt like that. But, you got to make moves in order to move the roster
What's
around.
Mike now? 18 years in?
Oh, he's
Mike
gotta
Conley?
be
19?
Something like that. Yeah, but he's still doing it.
I think he needs more money or something. I don't know. No, he just loves to play. That guy just freaking loves to play.
He does.
And he's still, like the other night, he was great. In the game they won, he was making shots all over the place at home. So we cheer for these guys. I'm not one of those guys when a guy leaves, I boo them or anything. I like these guys. They helped, like you talked about, they helped keep this thing afloat in the good times, tough times, all of it.
Even Ricky Rubio, in the early days.
Yeah.
Oh, and helped Donovan
By the way,
make that transition, too.
You nailed it on Conley. 18 seasons.
18th.
Yep. 12 with the Grizzlies, obviously, who drafted him in the first round of 2007 draft.
Amazing.
4 with the Jazz, and then obviously the 4 he's been with Minnesota now. So
I talk to him every time I see him, and so does Joe. Joe comes by and Rudy. They love Salt Lake.
Oh yeah.
They had a great experience here, and I think fans should know that. That I think Rudy still has a house here.
He does, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Mike lights up, and so does Jingle and Joe.
We had
Joe's still getting a check.
Yeah, well, and we had Joe on. It wasn't. I mean, this season. He said when they come back through town, they all go to Rudy's house.
Oh, I bet.
And so Joe's like, I'm glad he still has the house because I'll just go hang out there. Anyways, so
Nothing like a teammate, man.
Yeah.
Forever.
Jingle and Joe Ingles, man. He could do it.
Bowler, thanks for stopping by.
Absolutely.
You're the man.
Thanks for the invite. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
The cake, I've had many a birthday cake in my life, but that one you whipped together for me today. The buttercream to go that extra.
That's one of my favorites.
Labor of love.
I love you, my
Yeah,
guy.
I love you, man. And congrats on the job, Jake. Good to see you, my
Good to
friend.
see you.
How long do you think I can keep it?
A week and a half.
Okay. Well, I have beat that. I'm a month in.
Another week and a half.
Hey, will you just look at the camera and say hi to my mom? She's watching. Yeah.
Mama,
She loves you.
how are you?
Okay.
It's good to see you.
Thank you.
I forgot. We're on camera?
Yeah. Man. I got a buddy in London watching this right now.
Really?
Yeah.
London. We're
Yeah.
overseas. All right. Look at that.
I would have turned around and looked at him more.
That's okay.
Saw the back of my head the
Hello.
entire the whole hour. Hey, what's going on?
That's the highwayman right there.
Well, Bowler, really, thank you again for spending an hour with
Absolutely.
us. Always
I'm gonna
good
look
to
at a
catch up with
Mazda.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about
Hey.
that. On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Good news for your gas tank. Every day through May 17th, shop at BJ's Wholesale Club and get an extra 5 cents off a gallon on a same-day fill-up at BJ's Gas. Buy practically anything, any day, and save. That means on Monday, extra 5 cents off gas. Tuesday, extra 5 cents off gas. Wednesday, Thursday, yada yada right through Sunday, get 5 cents off a gallon of gas. Shop for what you want, when you want at BJ's to save on gas every day through May 17th. Visit bjs.com/gas promo for details.
It's time to spin the wheel and talk some sports. This is Sports Roulette on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back to Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. And Tim, that is the longest password I've ever seen somebody type into a computer.
Well,
I just looked over, and he's like,
got to make sure it's safe.
Apparently.
I've been ripped on by many a millennial for that.
Nobody is going to break into that computer if that password is that long.
Jake Scott's password is 1234.
Well, are we surprised by that, Lloyd?
Or it might be password.
Oh. It might be.
I will tell you this, it is very low energy. You don't have to remember a lot to do it because Jake's got to get to it. But this one right here, I got to change it. A little long for my liking.
I just saw you type it in, and I was like, when's he going to stop?
It was a dissertation.
It almost finished up, because you obviously have the little, enter. It almost filled up the entire box. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so just just focus on your password. I'm just kidding.
All right, let's get to Sports Roulette. This is, by the way, one of my favorite segments on this show, going all the way back to when Scotty and Hands got together on this. It's one of my favorite things, kind of hit some of the topics we've already hit on, but also some new ones. So, Lloyd, let's spin it.
I love the wheel.
Gen Z golfers.
Well, I think we got Lloyd's ire today, and Bobby Casper seemed to agree.
Yeah. Garrett Higo is a South African golfer, played at UNLV in college, actually. He's
no surprise.
But he was late getting to the tee box yesterday at the PGA Championship and incurred a 2-stroke penalty. And Lloyd, pop in my ear, we have the audio of him explaining what happened, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I want people to hear this. I want to hear his reasoning for his being late. So here you go.
I was obviously, so the rule is that if you're 1 second late, you're late. I was obviously there on time but late. That's a 2-shot penalty. You have 5 minutes then until you're DQ'd. So yeah, I guess I could have taken five minutes longer, or just under that. But obviously it's unfortunate. I usually cut it fine. It was cold this morning. I was trying to stay as warm as possible coming from the range. I think it shows a lot of mental strength, the way I just kept fighting, and it wasn't going to affect my swing or my putting. So it is what it is. I mean, my caddy was on the tee box. I had my putter in my hand. Obviously I didn't have my watch on me. I didn't have my phone with me. I'm already in the clouds a little bit as it is, so I don't know what else to do. I always cut it pretty fine. There's a lot of us who do. We don't want to get to the tee box 10 minutes early and be cold. We have to hit it far and straight. It's our job to do that. I don't really think it's my job to be 10 minutes early. Obviously cut it too fine. I thought I still had a few minutes. I didn't have my watch or my phone on me, and my caddy was dropping off my TrackMan, so went to the putting green, hit one putt, and then heard my name and ran down. I mean, I think that's always been a big strength of mine is, fighting. I always stay in the fight. Might not always be pretty, but I felt like my swing and putting's been in a good spot this week. I haven't had the best year so far. So I just try to make good swings, stay in control of what I can control. Like, there's nothing I can do about being late. I'm already late.
All right, so you can't be on time but late. Sorry, Mr. Higo. That don't fly. And
it is your job to be on time, by the way. Because guess what? That is the very definition of golf. If you make a tee time for 11:35 and you're not there for your tee time at 11:35, you put the people behind you behind.
Yes.
It is absolutely your job.
Yeah, I don't get him trying to explain away. Well, I was just trying to stay warm. It's like, bro, You can 1 minute according to him, one putt on the putting green. It's not going to make the difference for you in this championship.
My job is to hit it straight, not be on time.
I'd never heard of this dude until the last 2 days.
Okay.
But I've made a T-chart of strengths and weaknesses of his.
Okay.
I would say a strength is his accent. I think it's really strong.
Yes, a strong South African accent.
And I think that will get your attention any room. I think his resilience, obviously, spoke of it.
He shot a 69 after incurring a 2-stroke penalty. He was 2 over to start his round.
Okay.
So that's great. He gets to -1.
Okay, so he's resilient. His accent's stellar.
Okay.
And he's got incredible self-confidence.
Well, yeah.
I mean, talking about all the things. I would say his weakness for sure is punctuality.
Well, yes.
The darn kid can't get to the tee box on time, Lloyd.
I don't know. Have we heard of anybody having the same issue where I didn't even know that was a thing, by the way, that if you're not on time, it's a 2-stroke penalty. I don't remember ever hearing this. Maybe it's because it's a bigger deal because it's a major.
Yeah. Well, because most people are on time, Higo.
But who isn't on time? I know, right?
It's a major championship, bro. Get down there and get ready.
It's not like the weekend sandbagger.
Exactly.
Make sure you check in.
You're not the local muni over here.
And even then, I think it's still frowned upon if you're late.
Oh no, okay.
It's
here's
absolutely.
The thing. So Lloyd, I played Tuesday. I played men's league. Me and PK.
I've heard that you and PK play men's league. I've heard about this.
So Tuesday, for example, so we have a standing tee time. I played Sleepy Ridge down in Orem, and we have a standing tee time, and it's set for it's 12:10 p.m. is when we tee off. And so Tuesday I get down there, I'm ready to rock and roll, and they call out the group ahead of us, and nobody is moving. Like you usually can see like the movement of the people moving over towards the tee. Somebody moves. Well, so they call us up, so we wander on over, getting ready to rock and roll. My dad, who we were playing with, is teed up and ready to rock and roll. All of a sudden, this group rolls up. Hey, they called us. And it's like, no. You get to wait now.
That's a 2-stroke penalty for that group.
Yeah. They were that group. They decided they were just going to show up whenever they darn well pleased.
Yeah. There's a reason. I've lost interest in actually playing golf because of stuff like that. There's too many tough fellas out there ready to fight.
Yeah, so Garrett Higo,
Higo, get in line and be on time. And that's all I got left for you.
All right, spin it, Lloyd.
Rays get a new stadium. Good news for Utah?
Yeah, so the Tampa Bay Rays, the city of Tampa, as well as the county that they're located in, I think like Hillsborough County or something like that down there, have come to an agreement on a $2.3 billion deal to get the new stadium. Now, Tropicana Field's been repaired.
The Trop?
Yeah, the Trop. But so that's the way they're playing. They played last year at the spring training site for the Yankees because the canopy was destroyed in that hurricane. But they are endeavoring to build a new stadium. And the reason I bring up the good news for Utah is because it's been very clear from Rob Manfred, MLB commissioner, that he needed to get the A's situated in Vegas. He needed to get the new stadium for the Rays done. And then he said that kind of the next steps after that was the expansion, which, I believe the reporting, Nashville and Salt Lake City are the two favored markets to get 2 new MLB teams.
I mean, come on. If we had hockey, and look how I'm going hockey first. If we had hockey, baseball, and basketball here, oh my gosh. Imagine the summer nights out there near the fairgrounds. Yeah. That would be incredible.
The thing I love about baseball is you're right. It fills a hole in our sports calendar here because –
well, baseball's just awesome too.
It is. It is awesome, but for us in the industry, it kind of tides us through to getting to college football, the NFL season. Then we have the Jazz and the Mammoth go, and it just kind of it creates the true year-round loop for us.
Yeah, it doesn't like NBA ends and the college football starts.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a lull there. So I want this to happen. Now, the timeline for it is said kind of the end of this decade, early next decade, because Manfred has said that he wants to, that's kind of his final thing he wants to do. He's already self-imposed when he's going to hang it up. It's the end of the decade, and he says kind of his last act as commissioner is he wants to expand MLB by 2 teams.
Come on, Utah. We need it, and I'm all for it. I know so much work has been done by the Millers and others, so let's get that thing done.
They've laid the groundwork. There's no doubt about that. So I think this is good to see that the Rays are making positive strides on this. Have you been to Vegas recently?
I have not.
So I was down there in February, and the bones of the new A Stadium are already there. There's cranes everywhere, and they're building right there. It's where the former Tropicana the hotel was. They knocked it down.
Lost a lot of money there.
Indeed. But so it's already on its way up. So it looks like these steps that needed to happen are taking place.
Well, that's great news. And, those are the two things that had to happen according to Manfred, and we get those things done, and it's next step and expansions on the horizon. And, people say it'll never happen. They never thought we'd get go move up in the lottery. Big stuff happens here in Utah.
Yeah, you were born in the state. I was born and raised here, and the thought of having 3 of the big 4 sports, and I will also add in the fact that we have Real Salt Lake, the Utah Royals, and soccer. To have as many pro franchises here. Remember, back in the day, the Bowler said we had the Jazz and we had the 2 college programs in BYU and Utah. To add to that portfolio, I guess is the best way to call it. To have these options for sports fans in the state, I'm all here for it. That's what I dreamed of as a young buck. I wanted to have an MLB team nearby. I wanted to have an NHL team. So Salt Lake's growing up, Timmy.
Let's do it.
All right. We will come back. Final segment of the show coming up next. More to go. Scotty G and the coach right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready or not, summer is coming, and Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance is on now. Right now through May 25th, get up to 70% off everything home at Wayfair. Plus, score amazing doorbuster deals all sale long and surprise flash deals on Memorial Day. We're talking thousands of products at every style and budget. Now is the time to save big on must-haves for your patio, backyard, and beyond. These savings won't last, so don't wait. Shop Wayfair's Memorial Day clearance now through May 25th.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
The best sports radio in Utah is right here, right here. This is Scotty G and the coach, Tim LaComb, on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back to Scotty G and the coach here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. I'm Jake Hatch, sitting in for Scotty. Timmy, this is one of the great just jams. Speaking of Freebird.
Yeah, it is. That solo right there is top notch. Dave Rose's favorite song right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The Freebird.
TIL. Today I learned.
Today you learned. And we learned a lot today. It was great having Bowler come in and sit for an hour.
Yep.
What a guy. Absolutely legendary in the sport. When I was living in Austin, Texas, I watched him do college games on Fox football back in the day. So what a great friend, and it was awesome to visit with him.
Bowler's a stud. There's no doubt about that. All right, you got 2 big games tonight, Timmy, knockout games. Cavs, Pistons, and then followed by Spurs, Timberwolves. How are you feeling about, I guess, both of these?
I think the Spurs win tonight.
Okay.
I think Minnesota kind of knows their fate at this point, and it's like, I just think they've gotten weaker as the series has gone on. So I feel like the Spurs will win that one. I'm having a hard time. I think the Pistons figure out a way tonight. I just think 60 wins and a toughness that was palpable, in this series at times. I think they find that and force this to a 7.
I'm with you on that. I think the biggest thing for the Pistons is they've got to figure out a way to find some interior presence. Jalen Duren has kind of been invisible for a long stretch of this postseason. He's got to have a game tonight.
They got to score in transition.
Well, sure.
They got to find easier baskets.
They do.
I mean, but that's what you're saying is they got to establish some sort of way to get points, and they go on these long dry spells. And then turnovers have not helped. Cade had some pivotal turnovers down the stretch in that game. They were up 9 with just under 3 minutes and lost.
It was inexcusable, some of the turnovers he had in that one. The Spurs, you mentioned like the Timberwolves kind of been crumbling here. I just think that the Spurs, we're seeing the emergence of Stephon Castle. We're seeing, and obviously Big Vic, as PK likes to call him, Victor Wembanyama. He's a cheat code. He is so hard to play against a guy like that, and he does it on both ends of the court.
You saw, or you heard, maybe you did, I said it's like he played in that first quarter like he arrived in a spaceship.
Yes. Yeah.
And he is slowly, I mean, it's happening right before our eyes, but he's becoming the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Because he, you talk about Jokic and all the things he can do, but he's got fatal flaws. I mean, there isn't anything Wembanyama can't do on the basketball court. And as his strength increases, it's even become more so.
Well, and the biggest thing for Minnesota, if Anthony Edwards was truly healthy, his explosiveness would have made a big difference. But you can tell that knee, he can't do what Ant does. And I think that's a big flaw for Minnesota, especially when you're trying to counter what San Antonio can throw at you.
I mean, he can have the moments, but I think his ability to draw on it time and time, and that's what they need from him in this series, because I think he's got to be the guy that can win it.
Yeah.
Everybody else can do their job, but I agree with you. I think he's hampered just enough that he can't sustain it long enough, and that's why I feel like that will end tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. I love Game 7, so I'm over here like, yeah, let's give us
no,
two
Game 7s are the best.
Yeah, and that'd be fun, but I'm kind of with you. I do think that Detroit will find a way. It doesn't matter what you have to do. You just find a way. But, yeah, I think San Antonio's got this one on lock.
Well, the awesome time down here today at Tim Daly Mazda, Southtown, 10785 South Auto Mall Drive in Sandy. They are actually starting their Memorial Day sale this weekend.
Yes, you get a 2-week head start on everybody else.
Absolutely. And what does that mean? They'll have rates as low as 0%. The one you were excited about was the plug-in.
I drive a PHEV, as they call them, plug-in hybrid EV. I love mine. It's been awesome, and with gas prices the way that they're going, it can save you a little bit in that department.
One thing I've learned from Jake too: if credit is an issue, if you're worried about credit, they have a 99% approval process, and they have ways to figure it out. If you have a trade that will really be valued, because the market right now is crazy on trades. So bring your trade in if you want. And honestly, there's deals that can be done today with no money down. And this is if you're looking for a Mazda, you're not going to find any more inventory than this store right here.
Yeah, rates as low as 0% as well. So
that's big.
A lot of incentives for you to stop on by 10785 South Auto Mall Drive in Sandy. Timmy, thanks for letting me hang out with you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you filling in.
Good to see you.
And wish you all an awesome weekend. We'll pick up Monday and see where the sports world leaves us.
Lloyd, Alex, thanks for all you do behind the scenes. Obviously, big thank you to Benjamin and Brant for being here on site and handling things on their end. But we will catch you guys again soon. Coming up next, Jake and Ben right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Country roads take them home, back to the place where they belong.